So, here we go.
It was filled with childish frustrations and complexes which the police authorities for James Thomas believed
Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to Midnight Movie Gang. It is currently 7:49 p.m. Night Movie Gang. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this is a show where we kind of talk about horror, sci-fi, like lesser-known kind of cult classics, low-brow cinema, as it were. My name is Elsie, and I'm here with my buddy Corey. Say hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey. Corey's a good buddy of mine from college, and today we're talking about some martial arts films, which, funnily enough, this is 2 weeks in a row because the episode's not out yet, but Corey, the other day, my buddy Joseph and I, we recorded an episode on Ghost Dog and The Man with the Iron Fists. We did a double feature of that.
You were talking about that. I need to watch both of those, both on my shame pile.
One is good. One is not good.
And it could be either one, honestly, from what I understand.
But you can listen to no, it's Ghost Dog. I'm ashamed to say that after watching Ghost Dog, I ordered the samurai philosophy book that he reads throughout the movie.
Incredible.
But today we're talking about specifically. I don't know what movie we're necessarily gonna focus on more because how do I put it? Today we're talking about two films by director Timo Tjahjanto.
I should have looked up how to say his name before I came here.
We're talking about The Night Comes For Us, which is a 2018 Indonesian action thriller film directed by that dude. And we're talking about his most recent film, The Shadow Strays, which is 2024 Indonesian action crime thriller film. Both of them feature heavily martial arts. One of these movies is a movie that you showed me in high school, and not in high school, in college, and I was not a fan of it back then. And I rewatched it recently, and I liked it a little bit more, but I still have some problems with it. And then Shadow Strays, we both watched. I'm not going to tell you my opinion on it yet. But Corey, I want to ask you, as far as this director goes, as far as kind of like martial art, like Indonesian martial arts specifically, like this kind of area of films, like what's your history with it? Tell me about the first time you saw it. Tell me that.
Yeah, I mean, The Night Comes For Us, I think, was one of the first. I watched it the year it came out because I remember it came on Netflix, and I don't know what brought me to it. I think I was still kind of riding the high of I had watched The Raid and was like, wow, this is really good. Mm-hmm. Oh, Iko Uwais in this? Oh, okay. So I stumbled upon it. I still love The Night Comes For Us so much. It's just I didn't rewatch it recently, but every time I do watch it, it's just all gas, no breaks. A lot of just cringing and gore, which I don't need gore, but damn, do they give it to you in that movie?
Yeah, no, it's really bloody, really messy movie. That's definitely, this time around I appreciated the choreography and just the usage of the effects a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I think what grabs me is they get creative with how they kill people. Mm-hmm. And they do a good job of they'll show you something. You're like, uh-oh, a sharp object. I wonder how that's going to come into play.
Yeah, no, it's a good martial arts movie when you walk into a new environment and you're like, ooh, what can we fucking use to kill each other with in here?
Is that a pool table? Oh, okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you had seen have you seen The Raid 1 and 2?
I have not seen 2. I've only seen the first one. I liked it a lot the first time I watched it. The main thing I remember is somebody picks another guy up and swings him into a pillar like a baseball bat, and that really resonated with me.
Oh yeah, and his head cracks against the concrete and really.
Yeah,
that sound always takes me off guard in that fucking movie.
It's just that ungodly crunch.
Yeah, just the sound of bone hitting rock. Just ugh.
It's gross, man. I liked that a lot first time I watched it. I remember rewatching it and maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace, but it was just too slow for me. I was like, oh, they're not immediately fighting each other. No, stop.
The Raid actually takes a minute to set up set up what's going on. Plus, I feel like the raid has a thing of like they use guns for for the first 20 minutes they have bullets, and then once they run out of bullets they just start fighting and then they don't stop.
Yeah.
And it's like the least good part of the movie, really.
As the less bullets there are, the better the movie gets. Because what was it? Because I think I didn't like it a whole lot because I bailed out the last time I watched it. I didn't watch all of it, and you need to get to that mad dog fight scene. That's where it's like that's the real secret sauce for it. You know?
Yeah, no, you gotta get to the final boss of that one for
Yeah.
sure. The Raid 2 is also really good. My main issue with the Raid 2 is just it's too fucking long. As far as I think it's like over 2.5 hours, but there's some like really good there's one set piece in particular in the Raid 2 that's like it's like the dude's in the bathroom and there's just like a million guys trying to get into his bathroom stall to fight him, so he's just like letting in a few guys at a time, beating the shit out of them, and then letting a few more in at a time. And it's just like really well done. But yeah, no, as far as like my history with those, we mentioned the Raid, but like the Raid was my fucking jam in high school. And I remember when we watched The Night Comes for Us for the first time, I was really excited to watch it because there's a lot of the same dudes from the Raid, a lot of the same people worked on it. Was it Joe Taslim is one of the side characters in the Raid. He's the main character here in Night Comes for Us.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's a thing where it's like, yeah, the action's great. I think that like my problem is really with like I'm not given. I feel like in this movie I'm not really given enough reason to care about the characters necessarily, or actually, but the main character's whole plight is kind of confusing to me. Like I never really bought that he kind of like would just turn coat all of a sudden and be like and just go against this whole criminal organization because like, oh, one girl left alive, I feel bad.
I always took it as kind of like it was a compounding of atrocities that like he just kind of snapped and was like, I can't do this anymore, and just took this girl and was like, okay, what if I don't kill this child? But I see what you're saying. The plot is not the strong suit in this one, or spoiler alert, it's not a strong suit in Shadow Strays either.
Yeah.
They also do a bunch of weird world building that like they do it in Shadow Strays too, where they sequel bait aggressively at the end.
Oh yeah, no, they're pretty, but Nick Fury might as well have shown up at the end of fucking Shadow Strays.
Yeah,
and been like, we're here to tell you about the Avengers.
Yeah, it's like, why? What are we doing here? I was not concerned about her organization. I forgot that her name was a number or whatever for a lot of it.
Yeah, that she was 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Shadow Strays is its own. Yeah, I was able to follow the story of Shadow Strays a bit better in the sense that like I don't know, like I bought into the main characters like kind of going, because funnily enough there's a lot of similarities I feel like between like it's about like a character who's like an assassin, criminal person, like mercenary, and they decide to like they see a kid who's in trouble and decide to like fucking turn coat and be a hero or whatever. But it made more sense to me in Shadow Strays a bit than in The Night Comes for Us, because like the whole thing is like she's a brainwashed Black Widow, like fucking child assassin or whatever, and she's like kind of rejecting her military programming or whatever, and like she sees herself in the kid, and like that's a lot of like her. It seems like that's a lot of her motivation in that movie, and that's just something that like I was able to understand a bit more in Shadow Strays. Also, I don't know how do I put it. There's something more entertaining to me about just like a teenage girl going around viciously killing people. Like
yeah,
if
you had taken that actress and put her in The Night Comes for Us, that would have been perfect. Although I do love Joe Taslim, so maybe not quite, but like she was fantastic, and I like all the performances, all the action in Shadow Strays was fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I think that.
I'm with you. I don't know if I am with you, because I really didn't care about the plot in Shadow Strays. It just lost me.
Well, it's a thing where it's like there's basically two plots. It's like it's the so plot A is like the boy, she's trying to find Miguel or whatever his name is, or was it? I kept calling him Mochi, but it's like Monchi or something.
Yeah, there's an N in there for sure.
Yeah, it's not Mochi.
Monji.
Monji. Bean snack. By the way, funny enough, when I was watching, I switched on. I mostly watched in Indonesian, but I switched on the English just to hear what the English dub sound like. And Monji is like, he's like supposed to be like 12 or 13 or whatever. And the actor sounds like that, but when you switch it to the American version, they got like a 7-year-old kid. He's like, "Mommy."
Wait, that kid was swearing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, he's like, "Fuck you, Mom." Like he sounds like in the English version.
It's Netflix dubs.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You're not good, but don't ever go away.
Yeah, but there's that plot, and then the B plot is like her criminal trainer or whatever, like coming after her, like the organization. And that's the thing that I feel like is kind of confusing. Like I feel like you could have kind of cut that plot altogether and left it a bit more ambiguous as far. I feel like the movie should have just started with. Now, albeit I did really like the opening of the opening. Got me really fucking excited.
Oh yeah, that Yakuza guy was man,
being a fucking creep.
Being a creep, got his head cut off, and I was like, hell yeah, we're here, we're doing it.
Yeah, I also like really love. I do really like the design of their like ninja armor or whatever. I was like, what is this fucking Metal Gear Rising Revengeance like bullshit we got going? I thought it looked cool. And I thought that like, oh, is this gonna be like we're gonna follow them around doing all this assassin stuff, and then yeah, no, and like, are we gonna go to different countries? Like, are we gonna be in kind of like but no, yeah, it kind of goes back to just kind of being the like she's running around in a hoodie pretty much, just like in like dark nasty clubs and nasty buildings and stuff. And I don't know, I guess I was hoping, like, how do I put it, I was hoping that I was gonna have a more stylized kind of aesthetic, because like it definitely started in a more kind of comic booky goofy place. Because
and then
also,
we just kind of get dumped into just regular, like, oh, we're in a club, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a thing too, and that's something that, like, yeah, when I was watching the opening, it was really making me hope, because I'm like, oh, we're kind of being in a more I mean, I guess overall, like, the characters in general in the Shadow Strays are a bit more over the top and goofy. I mean, like, people have fucking costumes. I mean, we get to like the main three kind of bad guy, like the son of this governor guy, and the pimp man, and the fucking other guy, the cop, the dirty cop or whatever.
Yeah,
they've all got crazy looks.
And I like when he does, because I think the Night Comes for Us also kind of sets up like you're like kind of ridiculous, like not ridiculous, but it sets up the villains pretty well. And I get that this was going for like, oh, we're gonna set up these cartoon villains for you to just kind of punch through, but there's so many of them, plus the whole B plot of like, because they're setting up the mentor to be like the final boss fight, so to speak. So, but she's like not in it, and she's also having her own journey of like, oh, maybe my job does suck, and I don't know, it's just too much going on. I was expecting the A plot and the B plot to kind of tie together a little bit more, like, or maybe the governor was like, oh, this is like, he's like a bigwig, an employer in your organization. That's why they're pissed. No, they're just pissed because they're like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be laying low. Why are we, what?
Yeah, no, I guess it was a bit more all over the place too. Yeah, I watched them back to back today, and fucking, yeah, so it's like hard to keep them straight.
So you watched the same movie twice. Got it.
Got it. I did like the evil lesbians in The Night Comes for Us, though.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah, they were more iconic villains. I'm a big fan of characters with unique weapons, like a unique. I liked her like fucking Danger Yo-Yo. Her fucking
Danger Yo-Yo is great. Very gruesome kill with the Danger Yo-Yo.
Oh yeah,
and, the boomerang knife thingy.
Yeah,
I'm sure both these things have actual names, but
yeah, I'm going with Danger Yo-Yo.
Danger Yo-Yo.
That's my DJ name, DJ Danger Yo-Yo.
Me when I play Nest and Smash.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess in the first movie there's a lot of, I think overall I wanted to get to know the characters more, as far as like the Night Comes for Us has like, there's a lot of characters that all have pretty complicated relationships, like with each other, like his former group, White Boy Bobby, who probably my favorite character in the movie, like being a drug addict and stuff. And then Shadow Strays, funnily enough, has a simpler setup and like less characters, and is kind of like a more straightforward thing. But I feel like it drags it out too long. I almost wish The Night Comes. Sorry, they kind of like flip runtime, because I feel like Night Comes for Us could have been longer.
I don't think. I mean, I'm a believer that no action movie should be more than 2 hours. If you're doing like high octane, that's just too much. You know, there's got to be fat you can cut off. You know, so I think I don't know. I like The Night Comes for Us runtime, but yeah, Shadow Stray is way too long.
Yeah, I think Shadow Stray should have started with and I was about to say this earlier. It should have started with her in the shitty apartment waiting for instructions and giving you a bit more of an air of mystery, like, because after the Yakuza intro, she's just kind of waiting in this apartment for instructions, like, hey, what the fuck am I doing here, which is never resolved now that I think about it.
They were just having her lay low because she was exposed or whatever. They saw her face, except they didn't.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, that was the point where she was there. I thought she was like waiting for, like, she got sent there on a mission and like she was waiting there to fucking kill somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
What I thought was going to happen actually early on, I guess maybe I give the movie too much credit. I thought that eventually, like, as she was going to save the kid, she was going to get her mission, and her mission was going to be kill the kid. And then that was going to be the, like, kind of the central conflict.
The moral dilemma. Then it slowly turns into The Night Comes for Us even more.
Yeah, pretty much.
Joe Taslim shows up. He's like, yo, I thought at the end, because I don't remember what the sequel baiting stuff for Night Comes for Us was, but for Shadow Strays, I thought the dude that gets off with the motorcycle helmet, 100% I thought it was going to be Joe Taslim. I was like, no way this man isn't. These have to be, they're the same movie essentially. Like, no way they're not in the same universe or whatever.
But it was Mad Dog.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah, that's the actor who plays Mad Dog in The Raid.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit.
I could tell I was supposed to be excited about him taking off the helmet, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I got face blindness, so.
You can tell the audience, like, they're supposed to be like, oh, the audience is supposed to recognize this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, it's Mad Dog. I was excited to see him there. I'm like, oh, they're not making a sequel to this though. So,
you don't know.
Although I'm pretty sure this movie was pretty well received. Let's see, came out. I think I read that it was like the top, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, yeah, and it's a Netflix movie, so I don't know how they calculate how much. So yeah, it'll probably get a sequel, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, this director, like, he's known for this like style now at this point. Like, he's made enough movies in the genre, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
He made a VHS movie? Hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
What?
I never watched it because those scare me, but
oh yeah, you're not a scary guy.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I've only seen VHS 2. Is the only
Interesting.
one I watch. Because there's at least at the time, I guess I have to rewatch him. He directed 2 as well. Okay, well, and I liked 2.
Well, it's a bunch of directors, right? It's like short films kind of.
Oh yeah, I think in the notes it says, okay, so he had one segment. I watched VHS 2 because one of the shorts, one of the anthology stories in there is about aliens.
No.
And like I guess I still do. Like, I don't know, horror and aliens are a lesser tapped resource in my opinion. Like, people focus on demons or haunting too much, but like there's some basically it's a segment in the movie where like, these kids are having a slumber party, and then during the slumber party, aliens show up, and it's a bad time. But
yeah, I feel like aliens are more relegated to sci-fi rather than sci-fi horror, unless it is Alien, the movie.
Yeah, well, it's just brief alien tangent when it comes to this is just like my personal thing as far as like and it might just be my internal philosophy. I am a big skeptic of like ghosts and like haunting and like demons and like anything like occult in nature. Like, I just don't personally. I just like think it's all bullshit. But aliens are real. As far as like, maybe not little green men, maybe not space lizards with acid for blood, but there is definitely like life elsewhere. So in my opinion, like, the likelihood of like an alien coming down and fucking shit up is infinitely more likely than like a ghost coming and possessing somebody. So in my head, there's this like slight level of like being a bit more believable as a thing that could really happen that makes it creepier for me. And that's something that I've always just like enjoyed about I don't know, alien stories. I mean, like
I
alien
mean,
horror
I'm with you. Like, you know, we don't know space. You know,
Yeah,
and again, I guess we don't know ghosts either. So who
exactly.
knows? Um,
Here,
just a peek behind the curtain for everyone. We're scrolling on the Shadows or
the Shadow
Timo's
Strays.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Is he directing Nobody too? That's the Saul Goodman movie. I can't remember the actual actor's name.
This all good. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. He
He's
is.
directing the second. Ooh, that's exciting. Actually,
That makes it interesting. I never saw the first Nobody. Was it good?
It's fine. I'm more excited about it with this director.
Yeah. I think overall, when it comes to like this director versus I always confuse his name, the guy who directed the Raid movies. It's not Gareth Edwards. I believe it's like Garrett Evans. The Raid. What's his name? I guess I prefer. Even though I feel like the at least the first Raid is like, yeah, Gareth Evans is a serious movie as far as like it isn't the stories aren't as like grand in scale or about like giant criminal organizations. I feel like the direction feels a bit more like stylized and like there's a bit more, I don't know, it's less like, I feel like there's more interesting fight choreography going on in those movies than like this director's films. Like, I don't know. Then again, I haven't seen the Raid movies in a long time, so
No,
like,
I mean, I think you're right to say that. Those are very like have very like specific visual language that they're using. This one, I mean, I'm not going to pretend this director is super like stylized or anything. I just think they shoot action really well, which is all you need for a lot of these movies. So,
yeah. There's a I've been on a, what's it called? I've been on a little bit of a kick of trying to get back into watching more of the older Shaw Brothers movies because after I this weird tangent, after I watched Ghost Dog, I kind of understood like the connection between rap and martial arts, like hip hop and like the like interesting.
see, maybe. Oh, when I have seen some Shaw Brothers movies, Five Deadly Venoms. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I always thought the connection was just Wu-Tang. That was pretty much it.
I wanted to ask, real quick, do you remember, back when the Raid came, or before they announced Star Wars Episode 7, they announced that Iko Uwais and, not Joe Taslim, but the guy who plays Mad Dog were going to be in Star Wars Episode 7. And I remember being really hyped, thinking like, oh, are they gonna be fucking Jedis? Like, are they gonna do crazy like martial arts with lightsabers and shit? And it turns out that in the movie they're just like the gangsters that are chasing after Han Solo, and they get killed in like 2 seconds, and they don't even get to fight.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, I think Iko Uwais is mostly like behind the camera nowadays. Like, I think he's a fight choreographer more than anything else.
Yeah, fight choreographer or producer type guy.
Joe Taslim shows up and stuff every once in a while. He
was in
he's
Fast
the
and
main
Furious
reason
6.
why I was excited about. Oh man, we watched the Fast and Furious movies during
We did,
COVID.
during
I was
COVID,
like,
yeah.
let's go through all the Fast and Furious movies, and I knew that he was in Furious 6, and I was so pissed off how little he was in it.
Oh, I forgot that he was Sub-Zero. He was the
That's
best
what I
part.
was gonna say. Yeah, no, that was the reason why I will defend the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. Is he's great as Sub-Zero because doesn't talk, just kind of is scary and will beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Also,
remember-
yeah, Warrior, great show too.
Yeah.
He's good in that too.
I remember when I saw that Mortal Kombat movie, I was back in back in Troy. It was, I forget exactly when it came out, but like I was either visiting or I was picking something up, and I just like watched it really high with the boys, and it was the best. It was the best way to watch that movie.
It's how that movie was made to be watched. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. That's like the environment Mortal Kombat existed in, you know?
Yeah.
And weed-ridden basements.
Yeah. I guess as far as these two movies, like we haven't necessarily broken into the plots of them because I don't really think it's necessary. As far as like, I guess what I want to ask you is, are there any standout fight scenes in either of these movies that really kind of like stick with you that you'd like to discuss?
Oh my god, the final fight in The Night Comes for Us. I know you don't love the plot of that movie, and I can get that from like a meat and potato standpoint, but they set up Joe Taslim and Iko Uwai's like relationship and the tension of it very well, I think, and kind of their just at least like setting up their conflict of like, oh, Joe Taslim's like trying to he's the one who kind of like saw the like dirty of the this like organization and like went into their like murder kill group. And Iko Uwai's the one in the suits, like, you know, still getting his hands dirty, but being a businessman, kind of. And, like, you kind of just, like, have, like, a... Best way to describe it is, like, an angel and a devil, like, battle at the end. It was... That final fight scene is so good. And speaking of them setting up pointy objects, the amount of just dangerous shit they set up in that room, where you're like, uh-oh, tacks are on the floor.
Yeah, there's so many... they hurt each other so much in this. It really gets to a point where I'm a big fan of when these big bad one-on-one fights just evolve into men screaming at each other gutturally. Like this end fight scene reminded me of the end of the Northman or some shit. as far as that goes, like I remember I really like the little moment where it shows like Ito is trying to fucking push Iko Uwais' head into the saw, and then like his hair gets cut a little, and like
I like there's one really good swing where he's attacking him and like he gives a full kick, and I think the other guy, I don't even know who does it, but one person kicks, the other guy dodges or something, and he just full on like kicks a stone pillar, and you just hear the sound effect is so terrifying for you. You just hear like a crunch to it, and that sticks with me. Just that one shot of him kicking a pillar, and you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, just extreme pain. I will say, despite Shadow Stray's final fight is also a really fucking good one. Just as far as like how much these two women destroy each other.
Oh my god! And there's some good wall jumps. Love a good wall jump in a fight scene.
Lots of wall jumps. Like I remember that there's this one specific towards the end of the fight when the main girl, she cuts off her trainer's fingers. And then her trainer is just punching her with her fingerless hand. And I'm like, damn, that's gotta fucking hurt.
Still gonna work, dude. You don't need fingers to throw hands.
Exactly. Funnily enough, I remember while I was watching the movie that even though that was probably like one of my favorite fights in Shadow Strays, I still feel like it wasn't necessary because I already kind of got my end of the story with like the big like drug deal. Like the big drug deal gone wrong.
Man's
situation.
Just running around with a grenade launcher for some reason.
Yeah, and he's like got the gimp out. That honestly was fun too. Like the fact he kind of just like gave up. He put on his gimp mask and he just like snorted a fuck ton of cocaine and just started going nuts.
That was at least good character building because he pulled out that grenade launcher and I was like, yeah, that seems like something he would resort to at this moment.
Yeah, no, a lot of goofy guys. I liked her relationship with the low level gangster guy, Jackie. I like how that evolved.
Mans was just trying to survive. You got this little murder goblin dragging him around. He's like, I want to go home.
Just for some, I need to take care of my nana. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. How about this? I have to. Yeah, I immediately after watching Shadow Strays earlier, usually when I do these episodes, I will like watch a couple of like read some reviews and like watch a couple like video essays and stuff to kind of like learn more of the movies. I just didn't have time today to necessarily do that, but the more I'm sitting here and the more I'm thinking about it, the more holes I'm finding in Shadow Strays. I guess the reason why I initially felt that I enjoyed the movie more than Night Comes for Us was that like I could follow the plot a lot easier in the Shadows. Like it's a lot more straightforward of a story. But now that I'm thinking about it, I realize it doesn't necessarily make it as impactful as like, because the relationship of The Night Comes for Us, like the central one is more of like one of brotherhood and one of like that kind of like deep friendship, whereas in the Shadow Strays it's like a weird mentor older sister kind of thing, but like her memory's fucked up, so she doesn't even really have that relationship. And now that I think about it, yeah, it's just not as strong of a core.
I was excited when they set up at the beginning, so I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. Like, oh, you have to defeat your mentor. I play enough JRPGs. I love that shit, you know. But like,
Yeah.
it's because that character is relegated to like just random stuff on the side that you're like, you get to that final fight and you're like, oh, I guess we're also fighting them now, which you knew was going to happen, but you're going through that whole drug deal and you're like, this isn't even the end of the movie. Like the other people haven't shown up yet.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, definitely Night Comes for Us had a better emotional core. Funnily enough, damn, this is gonna be a short one. I don't really have a lot more to say about the movies beyond we can start going through something we do for the movies. We'll choose one from each movie. We do props. So we pick a prop from each movie that we'd want to have to keep. Is there a prop in either of these movies, Corey, that
I mean, I gotta take that blonde lady's Bowie knife boomerang thing. Like I keep calling it boomerang. It's just like a kind of curved knife, but like that hallway fight scene, and no, she's not the one hacking through the door, but yeah, they fight through all those people, and then she just shows up and is like, oh no, she's stronger than all those people. I just think that knife's real cool, real sick.
yeah.
Also, Shadow Strays has a solid katana at the beginning. Love a good katana. Wasn't even really a notable katana. It was there.
It was cool.
Oh, and this is just, hi everyone. I watch a lot of One Piece. So the lady put the sword in her mouth at the end, and I immediately, like 0.0 seconds, like 3 sword style. She didn't even have 3 swords.
Oh shit, Zoro. I just realized we never even talked about it. What did you think about the live action One Piece?
I feel like, because I kind of had it, I didn't totally watch it. I like had it on the background. But my partner Liz, not watch a lot of anime, knows about One Piece purely from me like watching it, because I caught up on like a weekly basis. So she had no baseline and she watched it and enjoyed it. So I think that speaks for like it being solid. I appreciate that they keep it goofy as hell. The guy they cast as Luffy is like pitch perfect. They make me hate Sanji a whole lot less, which is a pretty big dub. Zoro's cute. There's a lot of things I like about it. I'm excited for season 2 because Alabasta is when it really starts kicking off. So, I want to see. They cast someone weird as Crocodile too. It was like Sofia Vergara's husband, ex-husband.
Oh, Joe Manganiello, professional hot nerd man.
I think they made him Crocodile.
Let's say one.
Don't worry, everyone. We're getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Chopper yet, because that's the big thing. Season 2, they're going to bring your first character. It has to be fully animated because he's a little reindeer.
Introduced in season 2.
Let's see.
You see the character's name is Crocodile. You said
they might have it as Mr. Zero.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, spoilers. It's Crocodile
for One Piece. Yeah. I surprisingly enjoy the show, and I pretty much know about as much of what One Piece is like we've watched together.
Yeah.
And
I remember what was it? We watched Stampede together, which was like a film to celebrate an anniversary. So they packed as many characters in there as possible, and you kept being like, "Are they in the show?" And I'm like, "Yup." There were a total of like maybe 2-3 named characters that didn't exist in the show in that movie, and there were so many people. That was my Avengers. I'll stand by that.
Your end game.
Yeah, I walked out of that. I think, what was it? I got Chad to go see it or something because he was like, I'm not a huge Marvel guy, as you know, for the viewing audience. So I was like, I don't care to see Endgame that much, but our buddy Chad wanted to go, and so the deal was that if he came with me to see Stampede, because I knew nobody that watched One Piece, I would go see Endgame. And then he we went to see it, and he caught up and outpaced me very quickly. Man is incredible.
Yeah. To rotate this back to martial arts. Speaking of Marvel, what the fuck happened to Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi came out, people liked it, and then we just haven't heard from him again.
I think it's just because Simu Liu stock.
Oh
I
yeah,
definitely am not saying his name right. Um,
Simu Liu.
his stock just like fluctuates wildly. Like he gets angry on Twitter or something. People don't like him. And then what was it? The last thing I saw was he was on like Canadian Shark Tank or something.
Interesting.
And some like white people came on and tried to like sell him boba tea, and he's like, "That's messed up," because they were like boba tea without the weird, like unhealthy crap in it. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Asian. It's just tea and milk, dude."
Yeah, so Disney wants
So-
to stay away from that.
Well, no, it wasn't
crazy
even that. It was just that was his stock going back up. So yeah, I think his stock's just unstable, and Disney don't like that.
Yeah,
It's too much of a wild card.
I remember that the first controversy was like he made a tweet it was a tweet from years ago where like, I think it was like on Law and Order or like some show, he played a pedophile on some like crime show.
Oh no!
And he had posted a tweet he was defending people who had pedophilic urges. Like he put some along the lines of like oh, like, well, these people can't control how they feel and we should have sympathy towards like people who, you know, and that is kind of what caused some backlash and uncomfortability from people. It was like the first controversy, and then like a bunch of other shit came out.
That's understandable. That would make me that makes me I'm uncomfortable right now. Actually,
In fact, I'm gonna leave. Goodbye.
see ya.
Sorry, to take it back to the movies. Real quick, my props from each movie. I think part of me wants to take the death yo-yo, but it's really small. People wouldn't know where it's from. What is it?
They'll know where it's from when you're murdering them with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd probably take the or maybe like one of the. I really like the sign of what's the name of the bar in The Night Comes for Us.
Oh, I don't know, but there is there is a sign in the factory at the end that's like it's either 0 days since last accident or like safety starts with you or something like some sarcastic sign that has something to do with that.
Something funny like that, yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with the Death Yo-Yo in that. And then in Shadow Strays, I honestly just really love the look of like the main armor, like the ninja lady armor. And I really like the mask that it looks like Widowmaker from Overwatch.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna take that mask. And wear it around and feel like a badass.
That is nice. Can I change my answer if a night comes for us?
Yeah.
Can I mulligan?
Yeah.
Erase the feed. I'm changing my answer. I want the door from the hallway scene.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is probably by the end of it, it's just like a tiny piece of wood, but
a sliver. But like, the sliver is from that fucking door.
That door did a lot, you know.
Yeah. But yeah. Don't necessarily have like next time we come on Corey. We'll pick a movie that I feel like I just didn't prep enough for it, but I think we had a good convo coming out of it.
I think this episode was amazing. I think your subscribers are going to hear my dulcet tones, and I'll leave. Sorry about that.
Well, no, it's the best one. Our 36 Chambers episode was one of our more listened to ones.
Oh,
I think it's
sauce.
I think it's in the top. I haven't checked the overall episodes. It's also weird now because at this point most of the listenership is on YouTube, and the YouTube and Spotify levels are very different in terms of like what's popular on each platform.
Interesting.
But at the time, our 36 Chambers episode was one of the more popular ones.
Nice.
But now I just dropped episode 64 today, so there's lots. 100's coming.
Well, if I rank again, that means we'll just have to get me on all the time.
Exactly. You need a character. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, you need an animated character. What movie monster would you want to be, Corey? I can let Joseph know.
Well, I don't know what's taken. That's the bad thing.
We've got werewolf, vampire, fish. You remember Jack, right? My old sweet mate Jack.
Yeah.
He has a character now because he was begging. He's got we made him a fishman, fuckboy fishman.
Can I be Mr. Adams? Does he count? Is he in that canon?
Mr. Adam? Do you mean like Adams Family Adams?
Yeah, Adams Family Adams.
Sure. One second.
I don't know. I like his vibe.
I'll send you a picture. Here's Jack's fuckboy.
Yeah.
Fishman.
See, I go to Creature of Black Lagoon too because I also fuck with that creature's vibe, but.
Yeah. Oh, I told Joseph I wanted more Shape of Water than Creature from Black Lagoon. Like I said, this is a fish man that fucks.
Oh, yeah, you see, Mr. Adams, I fit right in there. I can't remember his first name, which makes me a fake fan.
Oh, we definitely got to do. I want to do a Shape of Water episode. That'd be so fun.
Would it be, because I feel like every time I come on, and I'm not a horror movie guy as much as you said earlier, so like I feel like mine needs to be martial arts themed somehow. But also for the viewing audience, I'm a white guy, so that feels weird for me too. I know, shocking.
I had no idea. Well, you're Italian, according to The Sopranos. That's
Can I just be Tony Soprano?
Yeah, that'd be good. Actually, the
greatest horror movie.
I'll just use a cutout of Bathrobe Tony as your animated character.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'll have a version just for you, but yeah, I think it's time for us to wrap up. Thank you, folks, for listening. It is currently 8:29 p.m. Night Movie Gang. You can follow us at Midnight Movie Gang Podcast on YouTube. Go check it out. Please subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at midnightmoviegang.com and also on the YouTube channel. Peeps might want to check out. We have some highlight videos from our movie commentary tracks on Patreon. Our most recent one we uploaded is the Fly 2 highlight reel. Turned out really funny. Please go check that out. And yeah, have a nice night, gang. Bye.
Bye.
So, here we go. With childish frustrations and complexes which the police are searching for James Thomas, believed to be the lover of Dave Williams, and her partner in the horrible murder of Walter. We grant everybody that I'm here to hold on. Oh, please tell me where this going. Please tell me. Sorry, I don't know. How hopeless could I got in here? 3 tickets to Albany on 6 o'clock train tonight. What do you think? Special agent. Special agent.